What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and this is your match preview. It's Everton against Fulham, and it's good to be back. It's good to be back. It's good to be back in Premier League mode. It's good to be feeling good, kind of, about the season ahead. It's good to feel like we're actually moving in the transfer market as well. We'll talk about that a little bit as well, and some of the players that we have or haven't been linked with. It's really, really positive that we seem to be moving in the right direction. Sean Dyche's press conference yesterday, I thought he spoke openly. I thought he touched on some of the issues that we have. Some of the big issues we've got. The fact that the squad is too thin. The fact that Calvert-Lewin isn't ready yet. The fact that he's brought in a striker that's very raw, probably won't be playing loads of first team games, etc. So yeah, it wasn't a bad press conference at all to start the game. And we're going up against a Fulham side that, look, we know all about Fulham. They beat us last season. Marco Silva, former manager, have some good players. Mitrovic, has been pushing for a move. He hasn't left yet, but he's probably caused problems behind the scenes. They've signed Raul Jimenez and Calvin Bassey. They've spent about £28 million. They've brought in players. Jimenez didn't really play very well for Wolves. Probably, if I'm being fair, hasn't been the same since he had his head injury, which you can't really blame him really, because he was phenomenal before that. They've got a player on their hands that is more than capable of causing problems to Premier League teams, more than capable of holding the ball up, and more than capable of bringing other players into the game. Fulham themselves, they don't have a bad team. They've got some creative players. They've got players who have impressed me. Paulina, Tom Kearney can play football really well. They've got Andreas Pereira, who could cause problems. Players like Harry Wilson always causes problems when he plays. Daniel James has got pace. So there's players there who are more than capable of causing Everton problems. Willian, Decadova, Reed, all these players got a bit of pace, bit of skill, bit of creativity. And, defensively, they're not too bad either. They brought in Bassey from Ajax, well-respected defender. Obviously, they've got Anthony Robertson, former Everton man, plays left back, very, very capable defender. Probably shouldn't have let him go. Tim Reen, experienced. Issa Diop, Adebayo. So what I'm saying is Fulham have got players who are decent, very good footballers, and they've got an experienced goalkeeper in goal in Leno. So they're going to come to Everton. They'll feel confident. They'll feel like they're not mugs. They'll go in against an Everton team that they'll remember hasn't scored many goals last season. I think it was 34 in the end. Stayed up on the last game of the season. Would have gone down if they hadn't have won that game. Jordan Pickford pulled off some massive saves in that game. Takore scores a volley. There was a lot of positive things that happened in that last game of the season for Everton, but realistically, it could have easily been Everton that went down. And still to this day, if you tell me that Leeds and Leicester's squad were worse than Everton's last season, I wouldn't believe you. I thought our team last season was appalling, and we've not really strengthened. We've brought in a couple of players, Chimiti's come in, Danjuma's there, but it's certainly not been the wholesale changes that I think me and most Everton fans wanted. And when you actually look at the signings that we have made, Danjuma chose to go to Spurs in January. He chose to go to Spurs over Everton. It's probably a good thing in hindsight, because we only would have got him for 19 games. If we'd have wanted to sign him, we'd have had to pay a lot of money this summer. Whereas now, we've got him on a full loan, which means we can utilise him effectively. And you like to think that that will help. In terms of other signings, Everton have obviously signed Chimiti from Sporting Lisbon, a player that is very raw, 19 years old. Apparently he's been scouted for a long time. I was reading some Ajax some sporting, coverage, some media coverage in Portugal. I don't think they're too bothered that he's gone, if I'm being honest. So this kid's got a point to prove, hopefully, and when he gets his opportunities, we'll hopefully grab them by the scruff of the neck and take them. But it's going to be a big ask for him to make any impact this season. But while Neil Maupay's there's probably a chance that he will score more goals than he does. The other Everton player that has come in this summer is Ashley Young on a free transfer from Aston Villa. And again, experienced, solid left back, will get up and down, will do the job that he's needed. Age isn't a number, blah, 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 blah. He's just a run-of-the-mill left back. He will get game time, he will play games. I suspect he'll play and be first choice over Mykolenko. And he's just somebody to get us through this season, and then we can invest in a left back, because let's be real, Mykolenko isn't good enough. So they are your Everton signings and Fulham signings. And talking about the game, this is a game that Everton, up until a few years ago, Everton and Fulham, the home team would always win. And then realistically, probably about, I don't know, 5 years ago now, it changed. The luck changed. In the last 5 games, Fulham have won 3, Everton have won 1, and there's been 1 draw. The last match was a 3-1 Fulham win at Goodison in April, a game that I was at, and it was a game that I remember because me and John sat in the car, and it was a match reaction that I was shocked to sort of say. It was the game out of all of them that I thought Everton would win, because we were in that period where we were playing some difficult games, some difficult teams, and we didn't win that game. And that was the game that I'd sort of benchmarked 3 points on. That was the game that I expected 3 points. And that was the game that I was hoping that we would get 3 points. But we didn't. We lost that game. We didn't even turn up. It was a terrible performance. And Willian looked like, his Chelsea self. We had problems all game. Players really caused us significant issues pretty much everywhere, all over the park. And in that game, Everton's midfield was wide open. Left and right, it was open. You could walk the ball through midfield. I thought it was a really poor performance by Garner Gay, remember, and Anana. It was just poor, and we just didn't have anything. We couldn't deal with Fulham, and we rightly got done. We really didn't kick on. We really didn't kick on in that game. I remember sitting there at half time thinking, can't get worse, but actually it was an abysmal performance. It really was a shocking performance. We'd given ourselves a chance at half time. I remember that they scored first, McNeil scored, and then we went in at half time 1-1. And I remember saying to John, right, second half now, we've just got to come out, get the job done, score another goal, set piece, whatever, be tight at the back and win 2-1. We didn't. We fell apart. Harry Wilson, Dan James, both causing problems. Dan James's goal was pathetic. It was shit. It was just shit, just to put it as it is. We have got some injury issues. McNeil is out. Coleman's out, as we know. Dele Alli's out. And I don't think Chimite would have been signed in time to play. So don't hold me to that. But he's not available. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know how to sort of say how to play against Fulham, if I'm being honest. Not because they're so good, but Dwight McNeil was really important to Everton, and the fact we haven't got him, we're going to have to find a different way to play through Fulham. I think Iwobi carrying the ball is going to be really important. Big thing that worries me about Iwobi is the lack of pace. Dodge mentioned about Calvert-Lewin not being able to start the game. I mean, I know people are saying, well, rushing him in, getting him starting games, potentially getting injured, etc, etc, etc. The idea of a Premier League footballer is to play and train to the intensity of a game of football. There's no excuse at this point why he can't start. look, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. That is my opinion. I'm not a Premier League manager, and I'm certainly not a fitness freak, as you can see. But for me, in games where Everton need to win, Calvert-Lewin needs to start if he's available. It's that simple. Neil Maupay is not an option. He's not an option. He is an awful footballer. I think you'll see Dobbin for minutes in this game. Whether he starts, I don't know. But we're going to need to play somebody who can carry the ball and cause them problems on that side of the pitch. And, you know, who is that? I don't know. I'm not feeling great about tomorrow. But I still think we win. I'm still, you know, I'm keeping the faith. I'm being positive. I don't think it's going to be a great game of football. I think it'll be scrappy. It'll be interesting to see if Willian and Mitrovic play, because obviously they've got the links to Saudi Arabia. Mitrovic really threw his toys out the pram, so that'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I don't know how to call it. I'm predicting Everton win 2-1. It would be really, really nice to get off to a nice win to start with. There's games coming up that Everton can win. You know, yes, Aston Villa's a difficult fixture next week, but then we've got Wolves at home the week after. Again, a game that you'd want Everton to win. So you like to think that Everton could potentially get 6 points in out of 9 games, really, out of 9. And that would be a positive start to the season. So, yeah, let's see. Let's not sugarcoat it. Let's not overthink it. Let's just go into this game and get the result. My team, it really is difficult to call, because, as I say, I would start Calvert-Lewin, but I know he won't. And that's my problem. That's my problem. I don't know. I don't know what way he'll go. I'm looking at the squad here. I'm looking at the squad, and I mean, it's not great, is it? I mean, it's really not great. It's not great. So anyway, we'll go Jordan Pickford in goal, Nathan Patterson right back. We go Tarkowski. I think he might go Michael Keane. Ashley Young. I think he'll go Anana, Garner and Garner in midfield. I think he'll go Decore, Danjuma and Maupay. And I think what he'll do is he'll have James Garner playing on the right hand side again. I don't know. I mean, if I was picking this team, my team would be Anana, Garner, or even Garner, Decore and Garner, Danjuma, Iwobi and Calvert-Lewin. That would be my front six. And I just don't think he will. I just don't know. I don't know. I just know that we need to win the game. Let's just leave it at that. We win the game. Fulham set up and they'll be everywhere, pacey. They'll be aggressive when they need to be. But I'm hoping that Everton have got a little bit more cleverness. James Garner can play them through balls. Nice little intricate play. And hopefully we win the game. Guys, I'm leaving it there. Look, I'm not overcooking this. Keep smiling. Peace.